herO with a win will take first place in player wins with 21, unless Zest ties him again later on tonight. A loss here would actually likely cause him to lose first place because Zest is highly favored in his match later on tonight. 12-5 overall versus Dark. They played against each other 17 times, so pretty
crazy.
Impressive record.
Yeah, and herO's been on fire lately. He's back in his good form, doing so good in GSL and Pro League.
Star League as well, he's top 4.
Yeah, he just got through Myungshik 3-2, so barely scraping out of that one. And Dark, on the other hand, he's had similar success. He dropped his last Pro League match to Curious in his EVZ, but besides that, he's been playing fantastic.
Yeah, phenomenal wins. Defeating Stats as well in pretty recent times, so this could go either way. And right now the momentum is in T1's favor. They just got that first build order win, and this is all they need to do. They only need 2 wins today, and they secure first place. Such an important match right now. herO got to be so stressed. He needs to win. The next 2 players have to win as well. They have no more room for error. Let's go into game number 2 on Echo. Down here to the bottom right in yellow, it's CJ's herO.
And up here in the top left for SKT1, it is Dark. Another one of the big hitters, big Zerg players on SKT. It's hard to argue who's like the better Zerg, who's the best Zerg on SKT1 because they're so damn good. Su and Dark, man, just leading the way constantly for the race in general.
I feel like Su has such incredible ZVZ. You have to think about these 2 players as like, what matchup are you talking about?
It really does come down to that.
Yeah.
Like when you think about these players, they're so stylistically good at certain matchups. Su leads the way in ZVZ, I'd agree for
I
sure.
feel like Dark has got a better ZVT. And I also feel like he's better overall, or all around. Su did just end up losing, in fact, in the GSL group to Rogue in the final match.
Yeah.
In the group with Gumiho. So Gumiho beat Su, and then was able to. And then when Su faced off against Rogue, Rogue just outplayed him with Infestors in that late game scenario. So anyway, I guess we're kind of getting a bit off topic here, but
no, we're fine, Wolf. This is important stuff.
But let's take a look at Dark here. He's going to go ahead and drone scout. He's going to see this Forge opening. And make herO very sad. He sees the drone. He you see on that player camera, he gives a little nod. Okay, that's fine. He scouts it.
You're gonna put a proxy hatchery in my natural? No, nothing like that. Just an early pull. It's going to be just a kind of a standard sort of opening for both sides from this point on.
Yeah. The Forge delays the Nexus, but it delays the hatchery as well. It's kind of an even trade-off here. He's going to fake the cannoning.
There's like nothing to fake here. It's like, well, you make a cannon, I make Zerglings.
Yeah.
What then?
It's pretty impossible to find anything with this. I'm a bit surprised he's doing this because Dark, he at most will bring 1 more drone down. That's going to be it. Just to make sure there's no second probe making cannons at like the ramp or something. And then that's it, and that's all he needs to know. And actually, no cancel either.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising, actually. And look at that. Hatchery just hit another base. Simple counter while you wait for your links to come out. And it's going to be a pylon for nothing.
Yeah, and the probe was around. Maybe he was scared of a cybercore block or something. Or not a cybercore block, a gateway block.
Just doesn't want to get delayed any further as well. So you're just like, well, I'll just take another base, and your probe's not going to do anything.
He also pretty significantly delayed the Nexus of herO. So I like Dark's position a lot going into this early game.
So far, so good. I mean, it's not going to be too different in terms of how everything ends up, but I feel like it was a mistake to have that pylon go down. Maybe he was really trying to force Dark to bring down like 4 more drones and start to hurt the economy just a little bit more, but Dark wasn't buying into it one bit.
Yeah, or the a gateway block would have been okay, but it would have been very expensive, and already with the Zerglings out, it wouldn't have lasted too long.
Yeah, not to mention, he went for that third anyway, so it's like, well, you can invest in that all you want.
Well, another thing to think about is the reason why I said Cyber Block earlier is because Cybernex Core actually is the same cost as a gateway, but it has 100 more hit points in total with 50 more shields and 50 more hit points. It's 550, 550 instead of 500, 500. And if you actually go for a gateway opening and your opponent doesn't know that and they're stressed you might cannon, then you actually cybercore block them. It's just everything gets out of whack. And he might have been thinking, maybe he's going to think that, but why would he think that when he's already seen the Forge? Anyway, he definitely should have canceled the pylon there, but a little bit of extra lead here for Dark. I'm going to see what herO wants to do in just a moment when that core finishes.
Yeah, looking like it'll be a Stargate. We'll soon find out there. He's going to invest in that Stalker though, just to deny the scouting.
Yeah, and we could see a +1 come down the Forge as well, but he definitely doesn't want to show it this early.
No. I think we'll see a pretty standard game from here. I think he'll just go to that 3-base Stalker style that we always see from him. It's going to be up to Doc to really figure out what he's going to do against that there.
There's a Stargate as predicted. I feel like Dark's really flexible as to what he wants to do here. He has to scout the Stargate to get that, full vision, the full info about what he's up against. But if he predicts herO's style correctly and herO adds a Twilight Council with this +1 coming up and tries to use Oracles to take the 3rd base, I feel like Dark can just try that burrow type push. Oh, there's no wall here. Only 2 lings though. Too risky.
I think he's trying to bait out that pylon as well. He's actually 1 less gas than you'd expect. It doesn't really give away too much, but maybe it makes him a little bit paranoid. Like, are you planning something a little too aggressive? Should I be a little worried right now?
You think he's going to sack the Overlord into the top?
He was thinking about it. With the Stalker there, though, he's going to try to get it away. I think it just might die there. It's going to take a lot of damage. It should get away.
Just barely. Blind Spore.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect reaction there. And Lings might even see it.
Oh, man, he could actually deny this Nexus. This is huge. Okay, he does get it placed. With only 2 lings, he's definitely not going to be able to force a cancel on it. But if he had killed that probe, that would have been huge. Still, he sees it. He's got the Spore coming up. Getting a Roach Horn now in a lair. I actually feel like we might see him do that exact same burrow movement timing. It's so strong against herO. herO's died to it now twice in Pro League matches that are really important.
Yeah, when you're going this greedy, it's certainly a weakness. And this kind of map as well, there is that big gap between your natural and 3rd base, which means you're going to have to sit your army there at some point and can really risk that kind of play.
All right, Oracle is spotted. He's got Queens in position. He's already taken out half the shields. And that Spore's about to finish. He finds a kill, 2 kills, 3. And quite a few, but he might actually not escape here. I don't think he's going to. Oh, 2 more hits would kill it. Queen's not actually paying attention over here at the 3rd, so it's going to get away. Actually, a lot of kills, all things considered.
Yeah, not too bad at all, considering he did scout that. No +1 range just yet for Doc just yet either.
Ooh, Hydra's time.
I think it might just be Ling Hydra. I'm getting that impression right now, but he's going at Carapace at the same time.
Look at what herO is doing also. He is getting the Twilight Council and the +2 as you would expect. But he's also getting a Void Ray. We'll see how many Void Rays he adds. He might be expecting a Roach follow-up, and that's why he's getting the Void Rays for safety.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Just having like 1 or 2 Void Rays really helps out against any sort of Ling Roach timing.
And Void Rays are not terrible versus Hydralisk if there are enough good force fields and ground units to support them.
Yeah,
just the one though so far.
If you want to go into like heavy Void Ray, you probably want to hold off, defend on 3 base, and go up to Storm or something. Some sort of old school tech, which we never really see anymore, but could work.
I mean, herO also doesn't really play that way. He never really did. But we'll see. Just a little tag here to scout, keeping an eye on what's being researched. And it's actually +1 for Lings coming out here, as well as the Carapace you were talking about. Hydra range, and already starting to boost out a bunch of Hydras. He's even getting a macro hatch, so he is really committing to the aggression here. What do you think about this Infestation Pit, though?
You know, I get the impression he wants to go into Ultras. He wants to go Ultras late game. Maybe you're going to start off with Ling Hydra into Viper into Ultra sort of thing, and like actually play the late game here with that 4th base going. It's looks like he's looking for this. Warrior's not going to find much, but yeah, he wants to go up to 8 gas, go up to Hive, play from there. So he's going to have to weather the storm, which is going to be the hard part dealing with herO.
This is so interesting. I mean, he's really playing quite greedy. He's getting Infestation Pit 1/1 plus Hydra range, a 4th base, and a macro hatch. Like, this doesn't get much greedier than this. He's basically trying to counter herO style with greed, but it's one of those things where if he gets away with his greed, he's going to have so many Hydras he can actually hold back this army with. This Overseer is going to come in here and verify. He wants to see, are you still making Void Rays? What's going on in the main base? And he's getting in a position to defend this 4th. It's not going to be easy with all these sentries.
Yeah, that's a lot of sentries, and a lot of Stalkers being warped in as well. It seems like he might be actually just geared up to deal with Sentry Stalker. I mean, he's going for that Pathogen Gland, so he wants to get Infestors out before any sort of Hive tech. It's about, does he actually have enough Ling Hydra to hold off until then?
The Void Ray and the Mothership Core are so important here for, I mean, a lot of different reasons, but one of the biggest ones being high ground vision, engaging into a location like this. Pathogen Glands almost done, but no Infestors coming out. A huge warp into units here for herO, and he's got +2.
Man, this is going to be a pretty hard fight for Dark to hold on to.
Oh, especially with these Force Fields locking the Lings in. He's hard-pressed to escape with them. And a few Hydras getting locked up here at the front as well.
Still not too much, and a lot more reinforcements coming down for Dark. If he can hold the top of this ramp for a little while longer, maybe he'll have enough.
A lot of Force Fields already used. He's got about one more line of Force Fields to drop down. But this is still a very scary Protoss army. I feel like he should try to attack a different location, though. Decent time warps on this army, slowing down those Hydras, slowing down any sort of retreat. Even an extra Colossus there for vision. And doing a lot of damage with these Stalkers, but the reinforcement power is immense.
Oh, man, yeah. So much reinforcement, so much production power for Dark. He doesn't have that base mining, the 4th, which he's going to have to get eventually, or he's going to get whittled down. But he's got the upgrades now, and he's got the reinforcements. Can he hold on, though?
Oh, here comes a big attack up the ramp. I don't know if he has enough here. I think he might actually just have to let this base go. A desperate Force Field try to lock those Hydras down, gets dropped here. 5 more Hydras on the way. Keep in mind the Lings have +1 already for the attack. The Hydras only have the armor, and +2 for attack is on the way. Infestors are coming out with Pathogen Glands, so if he can get a few of those out, lock these Stalkers down.
Yep. If he gets them out before any of the attack full is up, he should be able to take it out pretty convincingly. And I think, he's essentially held on, because he lost 1 empty base, which was essentially a macro hatchery at that point. But he's going to have to get 1 extra. He has to make it to 8 gas if he wants to try and fight Protoss in the late game.
Yeah. Well, it's so actually scary to see herO out here with these Stalkers as well. If those get caught by a fungal, or even just run into the Hydra army, and he loses a Stalker too, has to blink away, it's rough. I almost feel like he needs to switch to Colossus tech, but he doesn't know that Infestors are on the table.
That or Storm. Storm would be very important. Feedback Storm is going to help out a lot against this army composition.
True.
But I think it's going to be eventually a transition into Ultralisks, so that's going to create another big problem.
Does he have a robotics at all? I don't think so, right? Yeah, he never made one, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, he never made one.
So he's not even going to be able to make Immortals when the time comes.
Yeah, he's going to be really hard-pressed to defend against this. He's in a good place now to actually cancel the hatchery again, though.
Yeah. Oh, way out of position right now is Dark's army. Easy. +2 Stalker kill here. No cancel. And look at this, even sending 1 Stalker forward to kind of scout the positioning of the army. And he's going to actually draw it back again into the wrong direction. He's just actually blinking forward to continue scouting, way pulling Dark out of position. Sees Infestors now. Wants to see if there's a hive or not, but he's not going to get that far.
No, we might actually just see an attack from Dark with most of his army. Now that he's seen the 4th going up and the Warpins, he should be actually in a good place to do so with these upgrades. Maybe wait for that Carapace and then go for the big fungal attack.
Adrenal Glands, Ultralisk Cavern. I think now a 5th Infestor he's making. There's a Dark Shrine coming in here, but let's see how much damage that gets done.
Oh, that blink forward could have been so dangerous.
Lings actually might cancel that 4th base, that 4th Nexus. I think they will.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing over here. Okay, finally some Zealots come in. Gonna be close. Oh, a huge lockdown of like 12 Stalkers there. He's getting the chain on it. This is going to be a tough engagement, though, for Dark to actually commit to.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth committing so many fungals, but he's going to do so.
Oh, misses the last one.
Yeah, he could have really used that for the big fight. At least he got to cancel in the 4th base while this was all happening there.
+2 Carapace going to finish, giving his Lings 2-2. And Adrenal Glands on the way. Okay, he's actually just going to fight this. A big blink back, nicely dodged on those fungals, but it locks the Zealots down. A Time Warp does slow some of those Hydras. They have to retreat for now. Remember, this Protoss army has +3. And Vipers would be great. He only has 1. He's trying to consume to get that Blinding Cloud available. And here comes some DTs. He has no Overseers on the map currently.
Oh, man, this could be a huge, huge problem. And without any sort of detection, he's going to have a hard time. Let's see if the fungals off on them.
Yeah, let's see. It looks like he's not fungaling them now. A huge Blinding Cloud on these lockdown Stalkers, so they're not able to fight whatsoever. DT is actually just kind of helping here at the front to clean up some of these Zerglings, but he does get pushed back for now. A big blink forward on top of these Hydras. And this is not looking good for Dark right now. Still no Overseers. Okay, 2 more on the way. And 4 Ultras about to pop out.
Oh, bad placement with his army as well. He can't really fight there. Not the best Blinding Cloud either. Dark actually really struggling to find a good fight.
Yeah. And already losing an Infestor. These Ultras need to stick together here. If they come out 1 by 1, they can easily be targeted down by these Stalkers. We're going to see this happen here. He does kite his way back, targeting down that Ultras on his way out. A few more coming from the side, but he should be able to escape. Look at this, targeting them down 1 by 1. Even the DT doing some extra damage. Finally, that Overseer gets over here. But this is definitely a winning fight here for herO, and it might actually win him the game because he now has a 4th base completed. 71 probes, just pure blink Stalker on the map, 32 of them.
Yeah, he should That should be able to close it out from here, considering how much damage he did to the army, how many ultras he removed, and removing that third base economy. He's so far ahead at this point, he's, as you can see, with the supplies as well.
He's going to go ahead and kill this fourth base again. And with this Blink Stalker army, if he ever finds the Overseers, he can kill them, blink back, and then use DTs to cause havoc as well. I almost feel like those Overseers should be split up as well, because he could actually send those into the natural. He doesn't know that, but the threat is there. 4 DTs being warped in right now.
He's going to need a lot more Overseers as well, because this many Stalkers, you just focus him down, and then you can't simply deal with the DTs. So it's such a hard position all round.
Yeah.
And herO really has all the time in the world at this point to make the perfect army to deal with this.
He also only has 3 queens. He's like trying to make 1 more ultra, but he's not going to have any transfuse power to keep these things alive.
Looks like herO just wants to close things out here with some Archons as well to help buffer.
Yeah, because I feel like the best way for Dark to fight this army is his Fungals and his Lings that have Adrenal Glands in 2-2. And if Archons are in the mix, obviously the Lings are much less effective.
Oh, here we go. He's got to be careful of the Fungals still. It can actually be a horrible place for herO to fight into.
Looks like he just simply wants to bait them and dodge them. See how he's moving like that? He's just trying to dodge them after they get fired off. He doesn't have an Observer with this army, so he's not able to clear up the creep, which is kind of funny. He still doesn't have a Robo, so...
Well, he is a good position. He's got these DTs at the front. They're going to get DPS down, but huge Fungals on the army.
Yeah, huge Fungals here on the army. Archons on the left side actually denying that Ultralist its mass DPS. Even Chain Fungals coming down here, and herO taking a lot of damage, but it looks like his DPS is just going to win him the fight regardless. He just has to blink back here, kills the Ultra, more reinforcements coming from the side, and Dark is just running out of steam. There's the blink forward, and that should seal the deal here. herO will win CJ's first match.
Yeah, just way too much at this point. The economy in itself is too strong.
GG. herO brings it to a 1-1 score. They need 2 more wins in a row to secure that first place spot.
Going to be up to Biel and Byung. It's going to be a pretty tough match ahead as well. I mean, Biel's going to be up against Impact. That shouldn't be too bad, but Byung against Classic. That's the big problem there. That's the kicker.
That is the scary one. Step by step, they have to win both games back to back. A tough fought win there by herO. In fact, you know, his third base getting scouted, Dark getting such an early amount of tech, the macro hatch. He just ended up taking a bad fight at the fourth base, and he had to lose it. And once he didn't even cancel it, just not having that fourth base economy, especially after he committed to a macro hatch, they couldn't even afford to make the Lings as well as he was upgrading them.
Yeah, just such a bad place to be after that kind of fight. No real way to come back so long as herO stays on top of everything.
Yeah, it was really about herO's control. I mean, a good process to win that almost in every case, but herO's control was good enough to guarantee that.
Yeah.
So he basically didn't make any mistakes after his initial fight, after his initial lead. Got a fourth base up. But guys, before we go into that third match with Biel, we're going to take a small commercial break, about 3 to 5 minutes. We'll see you in just a few.